kingdoms, empires, and nation-states of the ancient world have had a long and storied history of adopting mechanisms through which the state has demanded or utilized human, civic, and environmental capital to preserve its own sovereignty and stability. The practice of ritualistic human sacrifice has historically been institutionalized by ancient states as a tool of political control, legitimized through religious devotion. Ancient rulers have used these rites to consolidate power, enforce rigid social hierarchies, and eliminate dissidents under the guise of divine will. Throughout antiquity, rulers have justified their supreme authority by claiming divine favor or acting as intermediaries between the populace and the unseen spiritual realm. Ceremonies were carefully staged to intimidate subjects in visiting foreign dignitaries, demonstrating the supreme power of the state over life and death. Sovereignty often relies on the ultimate willingness of citizens to kill and be killed in the name of the state. The state's supernatural power is often legitimized through the sacred status of the fallen soldier and the nationalistic civil religion. Anthropological studies have highlighted that human sacrifice has often been disproportionately practiced in highly stratified, hierarchical societies, such as in early Austronesian cultures, in order to terrorize the lower classes and enforce compliance with the whims of the elite ruling classes. Trace elements of these sacrificial practices still remain through the use of public, symbolic, or literal offerings to legitimize political power, maintain social hierarchies, and bind citizens to the mythology of the state. Citizens are routinely asked to sacrifice time, resources, or their very lives for the preservation and glory of the nation. Public ceremonies such as military processions or national inaugurations function to generate collective effervescence, solidify social solidarity, and reinforce the authority of the state. It is possible to analyze the rite of sacrifice in terms of 6 distinct elements: the sacrificer, the material of the offering, the time and place of the rite, the method of sacrificing, the recipient of the sacrifice, and the motive or intention of the rite. These categories are not of equal importance and often overlap. In many cases, sacrificing by unauthorized persons is expressly forbidden and may be severely punished. For example, in the book of Leviticus, Korah and his followers who revolted against Moses and his brother Aaron and arrogated the priestly office of offering incense were consumed by fire. The qualified person, whether they be the head of the tribe, a king, or a priest, acts as the appointed representative on behalf of the nation or the community. The intersection of sovereignty, ritual violence, and the unseen realm can be observed within the rise of Western occult belief systems and practitioners who have often sought to embed themselves within state machinery in order to achieve material or spiritual ends. In the late 1980s, Adolfo de Jesus Constanzo, also known as the narco-Satanist, led an infamous drug trafficking and occult criminal organization in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Steeped in Palo Mayombe rites, Constanzo offered protection to drug lords and politicians who visited his shrine. They paid in cash, guns, and silence, while he mixed blood, bones, and rum in an iron cauldron called Nganga, meant to house warring spirits. Success at the polls or on the trafficking routes was credited to Nganga's hunger, so when results faltered, Constanzo demanded stronger offerings, first through animal sacrifice, then human. Bodies surfaced near Matamoros. Votive necklaces of vertebrae dangled under tailored shirts in the capital. The pact collapsed only when police stormed a Mexico City apartment and found Constanzo dead amid half-burned bills, killed by his own follower on his order, lest he be captured. Yet many of his clients kept their offices, striking a similar parallel to the release of the Epstein files in the US, which has failed to result in a single investigation or arrest. Several years later, in 2003, a team of German archaeologists allegedly discovered the burial site of Gilgamesh. The researchers used magnetic surveys to map the ancient city of Uruk under the dry riverbed at the Euphrates. The researchers detected a massive rectangular tomb that matched the descriptions of his tomb in the Epic of Gilgamesh. It was called one of the most important discoveries in Mesopotamian archaeology. But only days after this announcement, the United States had launched the invasion of Iraq. Within weeks, American forces had reached Europe. The news of this momentous discovery had gone completely silent. No further reports were published, and it was as if the discovery had never taken place at all. While the correlation of these two events may very well be nebulous, history is abundant with documented cases of governments investing enormous resources in the pursuit of relics that they believe possess supernatural power. In the 1930s, when Benito Mussolini was imagining himself as a new and reborn Caesar, conquering territory from Africa to the Mediterranean was simply not enough. He needed symbols. He needed something to prove that his rule was destined by God. In 1935, Mussolini ordered the invasion of Ethiopia. Publicly, he referred to it as a civilizing mission. However, behind this rhetoric, there was a completely different motive. Mussolini wanted to find the Ark of the Covenant in order to legitimize his power, believing the Ark to be hidden in Ethiopia due to the centuries of claims by Ethiopian priests who professed that an angel appeared to the son of Solomon and commanded him to take the Ark out of Jerusalem and carry it into Ethiopia. Meanwhile, that very same year, Heinrich Himmler created the Ahnenerbe, or the SS Society for Research into the Spiritual Roots of Germany's Ancestral Heritage, a fringe academic society dedicated to esoteric study and philosophy, which sought to prove that the Germanic race was a superior lineage tied to a forgotten first civilization. Himmler's team searched the world for artifacts and relics that blurred the line between myth and reality. They searched for Mjolnir, the legendary hammer of Thor, the Norse god of thunder and strength, believing it to be an ancient superweapon shrouded in myth. They sent expeditions to Spain and Italy in order to locate the Spear of Destiny, the spear that pierced Christ's side on the cross. Whether or not these relics existed, and whether or not you believe in the immaterial, the spiritual, or the unseen is irrelevant. The most powerful men in history, and the men who occupy the meetings and boardrooms that are kept from your eyes, believe in these myths. They built empires around them. They launched expeditions to the far corners of the earth to find them. They spent untold fortunes and spilled blood in the desperate search for ancient relics that some say may not have existed at all. And yet the desperation was there, and that desperation remains.